So the first thing I want to talk about is a story structure called in media res. Okay, a story structure called in media res. And this technique is when you begin your story in at a major moment or where there's a lot of action, right? So for example, I wrote a fiction book last year called Nina's Whisper. In the first, just as soon as you start the book, it starts with a dramatic scene of the main character running away and the antagonist being arrested, right? And so it begins by intriguing the reader because now you want to know what happened, right? You want to know what happened. And so it's almost sort of like a cliffhanger where we're jumping right into the action from page one so that the reader is hooked. And then the rest of the story just becomes showing the reader how this character got to that point. I really like the in media res technique, especially for beginners, because I think it's a very easy storytelling structure to understand, right? And so, you start at the beginning of the action, right? And then you take the reader through and lead them up to how they got to that point. The storytelling is then basically about explaining how you got there. So let's say, for example, your story starts in the heat of the moment in the year 2020, okay? And then you go back 3 years and the story is just talking about what happened in 2017, 2018, 2019, and then that endpoint of 2020. It's a very fun story structure. And so you might have a comic book idea right now and maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you don't know how the story ends. Try this out. Go ahead and give this a try because it mentally, it's a very easy way to get that story structure that you might need, right? That might be the last piece of the story idea that you have. And if you have a story idea in your head, start writing some of the pieces down. Start writing some of the pieces down.